The program you are about to watch is underwritten by Allergan. The views expressed therein are solely those of the doctors. Here at The Gist, we love your loyalty, enthusiasm, and curiosity. And that means every question is important to us. Let's hear what our GLOWGetters have to say.
Hey everyone, my name is Phoebe Lapine and I am a food and health writer who focuses primarily on autoimmune conditions. So I get messages all the time from people asking how certain skin conditions like eczema and perioral dermatitis are tied to certain food sensitivities. So I was curious if you see any trends in your practice in terms of which ingredients might translate to some of these other conditions. And then I was just wondering if you guys had any opinions on which food ingredient was most harmful for your skin overall. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm sure that we're all in consensus in terms of which food is harmful, which would be sugar. Yeah. Yes, we all know about the evils of sugar. And I know that we were talking earlier this morning about sugar. And Ruth, what did you have to say about it?
Well, I mean, sugar basically is such an evil for our entire body, not just our skin. And so we are living in a world where diabetes is endemic, it's epidemic, and we have to be so careful. Even without a family history, it's so important to monitor how much sugar we consume. And so we know that there's no question in terms of our skin, we see all kinds of, it's basically pro-inflammatory, so we see the fact that we have more inflammatory conditions. Children who eat a lot of sugar often will have exacerbations of their atopic dermatitis or eczema or acne
psoriasis.
or psoriasis. So the important thing is to realize, though, that it's not necessarily linear. So a patient may change his or her diet for a few days and go, that's not working. It doesn't happen that way. It's long term.
It's long term. And I know that there's so much data also about that sugar binds to the collagen in our skin.
And causes
wrinkles. We call these
deep wrinkles.
Yeah, we call these advanced glycation products.
Yep.
Exactly. And so then the body senses this damaged collagen as damaged and foreign, and it goes and chews it up.
And it's not just sugar. It's also fried foods, grilled foods, highly processed foods, which, you know, even in gluten, you know, it's a food that has to go through very high temperatures to be processed, and that can also, it's been thought to potentially lead to the same thing.
Well, probably because when you eat these highly processed foods, they turn into sugar so quickly in your system.
Right.
But on the flip side, as much as sugar is inflammatory and that inflammation affects every single organ in your body, including your skin, we know that there's antioxidants that can do the opposite. So if you look at the Mediterranean diet, I know you'll speak to this, but there's tons of studies that show that people who eat fresh foods and vegetables in season will have healthier skin. But sugar is also addictive, which is a problem.
Right, and I'm 100% addicted to sugar. And so I would encourage all of our listeners and all of our viewers to just not have sugar. It is just so bad for you, but I am so addicted to it.
I mean, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation.
And find healthy substitutes, because there are other things that are sweet that satisfy you that aren't going to necessarily be as evil.
Now, also our GLOWGetter was asking about other foods that can be beneficial for some of these conditions.
Blueberries. So blueberries are high in antioxidants, so I'll pick that. I have them in the morning a lot. When I'm running out the door, I'll make sure I have a measured amount of blueberries on the way to work, that type of thing. And they're great for you. And then green leafy vegetables are really, really great for you as well. Kale, I know everybody calls it, it's ridiculous, it's ridiculous. It used to line the salad bar when we were younger, and now it's like the rage. But I mean, it's a superfood and it's really great.
Another very interesting thing for young mothers is the fact that you really teach your children, you teach their taste buds. And so one thing that I did with my two older children, and not as much with my two younger children, was I didn't introduce sweet tasting things like banana and peas till much later. Consequently, they don't have much of a sweet tooth, whereas I got lazy with my younger two, and they have big sweet tooth.
So they can blame their thinner skin because of you.
My mother's a pediatrician. I don't know what that says about her parenting. That's funny. And soy is another one that I want to bring up. Soy has an estrogenic component to it, which can inflame my acne and aggravate my acne, and it does the same for my patients. So I would have to say that soy that's in the soy lattes, edamame beans, obviously soy sauce, that can be aggravating for acne and follicular diverticulitis.
But
and it's in bars even.
I say everything in moderation. I don't love soy, but at the same time, we know that like meats that are like highly processed are also, extremely inflammatory.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit of soy might be a better alternative. But if you are consuming a lot of it, you're absolutely right. It does mimic hormones in our body and can absolutely worsen conditions like acne as a result.
I think the simplest way to do it is to look for fruits and vegetables. Look for a variety of colors found in nature. Like Cheetos is not a color found in nature. Don't go there. But colors found in nature and fruits and vegetables that are in season. So that can really help. And then it's maybe not avoiding everything, and like you said, in moderation, but you have to be careful to read labels because sugar and too much salt and a lot of these ingredients that are highly processed, fructose that you were talking about, can all be in products that we don't even know that it's there. So we think we're being healthy because it's packaged as if it's healthy, but it's really not as healthy as you
25
think.
grams a day is the upper limit, or we aim for. That doesn't mean we'll hit that.
I don't even know what that means, though.
Well, you read labels.
And a diet,
exactly.
ultimately
Yeah.
a diet that's basically a Mediterranean diet is what's been shown to be superior to everything else. And that's a diet that's rich in legumes, very low in dairy, low in highly processed meats, and if you're going to get some protein through fish.
And then
Yes.
high in antioxidants
high in
and
antioxidants,
omega-3.
exactly.
Yes, exactly. And I think that one topic that we are just really starting to learn more about is the microbiome. But what's really important to know about the microbiome is that we have to feed the microbiome. And so that is what we do by eating all of these
And not
deeply
alter it
colored,
so
not alter it,
much.
deeply colored leafy green vegetables and fruits. It's so important.
And Phoebe in this segment was talking about foods, but I think as a health and nutrition writer, she should also know that anytime she gets the chance, she should blast smoking. Smoking weed, vaping, and smoking cigarettes, just absolutely awful for you.
Pro-inflammatory state.
Right. Thank you, Phoebe, for a great question. And I hope that we gave you some information that you find useful. If you are a fellow glow-getter with a question, ask us. We have answers, and we want to share them with you. Want to be part of our Derm Squad? Like and subscribe to The Gist.